it's not just ScaleX, it's not just Let's Ignite. We also have one another important announcement to make. Um, Allow me to add a cherry on the cake while we glide through our itinerary today. Let's Venture, along with MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technologies, Startup Hub, under the Samrit scheme, are promulgating a joint fund of $1 million, which would be invested in early stage startups. Can I have a round of applause for that, please? Thank you. And this not just ends here. Startups who would apply would get the opportunity to join the acceleration program and would be eligible to get up to $100,000 of funding. MeitY Startup Hub intends to promote technology innovation, startups, and creation of intellectual properties for the purpose of setting up vibrant startup ecosystem. Let's Venture intends to leverage and support investments in the MeitY Startup Hub ecosystem for strengthening the investment outlay for Indian tech startups with opportunities to pitch their solution to domestic and the global markets. I hereby welcome Dr. Ajay Kumar Garg, sir, Senior Director in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, Government of India. Dr. Garg heads the International Cooperation Division, which has a mandate for promoting international trade and cooperation, driving the critical startups, entrepreneurship, and IPR divisions of MeitY, apart from managing the responsibilities of IT sector, e-commerce, and MeitY website. Dr. Garg, an engineer by qualification and a champion of information technology by choice. Dr. Garg is a seasoned technocrat and a key strategist who likes to see himself as a relentless disruptor, and trust me, it's correct, at the forefront of initiatives shaping up the contemporary digital narratives. An alumnus of IIT Kanpur, we would have more people from IIT Kanpur out here today for you to interact with. Dr. Garg has authored more than 20 research papers and holds 2 patents in his credit. He has a strong background in policy formation, international negotiations, advocacy evolving schemes, and programs for technology and innovation management. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Let's Venture, and the stage is all yours. Yes, please. Can we have a big round of applause for Dr. Garg?
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me. It was overwhelming, and most of it was not true. So let me first compliment and congratulate Let's Venture for creating this scale-up and partnering with us under the Samrit scheme. Let's Venture, a space which is most of the time occupied by the weaker gender, is being occupied by a stronger gender. Shanti ma'am, you have done a wonderful work in creating this platform. Thank you, Let's Venture. Thank you, Bangalore, also for inviting me. Bangalore knows how to choke itself through an entrepreneurial journey. When the IT industry was growing, you picked it up. And when the startup journey has started in India, you have captured most of the space. So you guys know how to choke this up. And the government doesn't know an answer to your challenges. And I know the next phase of growth will also come from Bengaluru. India has done a phenomenal job as far as startups are concerned. And I'm happy to be part of the Ministry of Electronics and IT, a ministry which has got professionals and bureaucrats in combination, and that's the unique value creation that this ministry does, in actually intervening at the right time for right solutions. When the startup journey started some 10 years, or 8 to 10 years back, when most of the startups were in the low end of the technology, e-commerce and other space, we thought that how the deep tech ecosystem, which is there in Silicon Valley, needs to be emulated. And we came up with a scheme called the Technology Incubation and Development of Entrepreneurs in 2019, with the basic idea that how does technology or innovation from the institutes of higher learning and research flows into an entrepreneurial ecosystem. And Tide was specifically meant for that, and it did some phenomenally good work in actually promoting the tech ecosystem. I don't know whether it's because of the Tide or otherwise. Now we have a country which does not talk about the trivial innovations to be part of their startup ecosystem, but very, very deep tech solutions. And those deep tech solutions are different from others in a sense that they do not actually give a better consumer experience, but they solve the real world problems. Problems in the agriculture sector, fintech sector, logistics. These are the things where AI, ML, IoTs, these technologies are being rightfully used, and they are actually making a difference in the whole economic ecosystem per se. From, say, 600 odd startups to 75,000 odd startups that are today in the journey of 8 years, being contributed by the Startup India program, the Digital India, the Make in India, and many others. And because of the original zeal that most of we as a talent nation has, we have come a long way. From 75,000 odd startups to 100 around unicorns and 500 around unicorns is still an underwhelming number, even though it's being talked about or hyped about a lot, but we have the capability to create much more. What we require is that a good idea, a good product, how is it scaled at the business scale, is need to be looked at. We do not have a Y Combinator of the Silicon Valley here. So we thought that let's create a Y Combinator of the Silicon Valley with connecting with the right private partners, and that's what Samrit scheme is there, which we launched last year, and of which LetsVenture is we are proud to be having them as partners in one of those accelerators. So these are the people who will actually support you in scaling up from thousands to millions to billions, because that's this country is with 135 billion consumer base. You don't have to be the Googles. You can be a 10x of Googles tomorrow. That's the capability this country has, and that's what is. I'm very happy to be part of this event. I wish LetsVenture as a company and these Scalix and the $1 million fund all the success in future, and the support of Ministry of Electronics and IT will always be there with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your words and all your support with Samrit scheme and MeitY with LetsVenture.